everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the Best of Beauty 2018, but Best of Beauty also encompasses makeup, skincare, hair care, and also a couple of lifestyle favorites. This is one of my favorite videos every year, and I'm going to do it the same as I've done in past years. And that is all of the products I will be mentioning today are products that I discovered and love in 2018. So they don't necessarily have to be released in 2018, and it's also not going to be a holy grail video where I mention things that I've loved for like the past 5-10 years. These are just products that I tried and loved for the first time in 2018. It's the best of the best of all the new stuff that I discovered this year. I know in years past I've had about 15, I think last year I had about 19 products. This year it's over 20, so we're just gonna dive right into all the good stuff, and we're gonna start with skincare. So this year in skincare, it all started with this little bitty sample right here. This is a sample of the La Mer, the Moisturizing Soft Cream. I got this as a free deluxe sample on Sephora. It's a tiny little jar. It's very cute for a sample. And sadly, this little guy, this little sample got me hooked on La Mer, the Soft Cream. I love this stuff. I went through 2 full-size jars this year, which I've already thrown away. I'm not very good at keeping my empties. Sephora did exactly what they intended to do with this little sample, and that was to get me hooked. However, I'm not currently using it because I had to take a little money break. This is very, very expensive. I believe it's $85 for half an ounce. And so I just couldn't do that anymore. I'm going to take a little break. But I did have to mention it was one of my absolute favorites for the year because it all started with a sample size that led me to buy the full size, and as soon as that one ran out, I had to buy another one. So it's definitely something I loved, and I had to mention this. Now this cream all came about because the La Mer was too expensive to be using morning and night. So eventually I picked up the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. And this is just a perfect daytime moisturizer. It wears so well under makeup. It has a really nice, refreshing citrus scent, and it's just really nice, very hydrating without being greasy or ruining your makeup. Just like it says, it's a really nice face base before you start getting ready in the morning and putting on makeup. So I have loved this. This is nearly 2 fluid ounces, and I'm about halfway through it, but a little bit goes a long way on this as well, so there's more bang for your buck in this one, and I've really, really enjoyed it. I turned 31 this year, so it was the year I started finally using eye cream. I know I should have started long before this, but my favorite was the Clinique All About Eyes Rich. This is a very hydrating, very moisturizing eye cream. It's very thick. I do wear this one at bedtime only, but the really nice thing is that it's so thick and so moisturizing, but it hasn't caused me any breakouts under the eye area and no milia right at the eye area. It's also gentle enough to be used on top of the eyelid, so I slather this all over the top of the eyelid, at the corners and underneath. I just get it everywhere, all over the eye area, and I've loved it. I did have an allergic reaction around my eyes this year. It caused them to be red, painful, scaly, so incredibly dry that lasted forever. I tried a couple of other eye creams, and this was the only one that didn't sting the eye area. It was very soothing. It made a big difference in moisturization, and I stuck with it, and I've loved it ever since. And so I've already purchased a backup of this one because it's a little bit over halfway empty. So listening to what I've said so far, apparently I'm just going to tell you my life story about what happened this year that led to these products. So hopefully that's okay, but that happened again with this. It's the Laneige Water Bank Water Pocket Sheet Mask. The Water Bank is one of their moisturizing sheet masks, and it is definitely that. It helped moisturize my skin so much. Because this year I also started a retinol. I started back on my Differin, which you know you can get very red and peeling and very, very dry. And this really helped with that transition phase. Actually, it's a few months phase, but it really helped to use these the night before I was going out and didn't want to be dry and flaky and really needed to prep my skin. I would use this the night before and still be hydrated the next day, so I absolutely love this. And I also really like the material of this sheet mask. It was a little bit different. It clung to your skin very well. It just felt really nice on your face instead of like claustrophobic like. So I've continued to purchase these, and I always have one on hand in my cabinet now. I also finally found the facial sunscreen of my dreams. It's the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. This one is SPF 40, and it truly is unseen. It's completely clear. It has like that silicone primer feel, which typically I hate, but oddly enough in sunscreen I really like it because it really just melts into your skin. You don't have to keep rubbing it in. There's no white cast. It really is unseen. You can wear it every day in the summer and not see it under your makeup. But I also wear this to the pool, and because this one was so easy to slather on and not have to rub it in forever, I also used it on my daughter because I could put it all over her face and just rub it in and go. So it was really easy to spread this on her face and get her in the pool as soon as possible since she wouldn't sit still anyway. So I love this both for me and for her. So I've typically always liked a foaming cleanser, but they are very drying, or can be, and a lot of times with the creamy cleansers, I don't feel like my skin gets clean enough. But I did find this year a foaming cleanser that does not dry out my skin. I love this little gem from the drugstore. It's the Simple brand. This is the Water Boost Micellar Facial Gel Wash. And at the top it says for dehydrated dry skin. And it is just a clear gel. There's no fragrance or color added, and it really does foam well on the skin. It gets my skin clean, but it does not over dry it. So I have been loving this. This is my second bottle. So I've been loving this, and it really helps that it's easily accessible from the drugstore. I just put it in with my Walmart pickup order when I get groceries, and it's really the best I've used in several years. I needed a new cleansing oil, and while the Clinique Take the Day Off cleansing oil did not work for me, it actually made my worst of 2018 list. The Tatcha Pure One Step Camilla Cleansing Oil is at the very top of my list. I actually started out with the travel size of this. I bought this small little travel size, which is a great way to try something. I ended up loving it so much, I went through it, and then I bought the full size, and then when the sale came along this fall, I bought a backup. So I am almost finished with this one. It's down to like right here, and I have a backup waiting in the cabinet. I love the scent of it. I love the way it emulsifies and washes off cleanly. And I may be odd, but I'm very, very picky about the consistency of my cleansing oils, and I like them to be on the thicker side, not completely runny. Honestly, I don't know why that is. It's just that I've tried so many, I now have a preference on consistency, but this one has checked all the marks on what I was looking for. Last for skincare is the Saint Tropez Purity Bronzing Water Mousse. Now, I'm a huge Saint Tropez fan. I've been using Saint Tropez self-tanning products for a long, long time, but this was a new product they came out with this year, and the #1 reason it's making a favorites list is because it is a clear bronzing mousse, and so I can go to bed with it on, and it doesn't get on my comforter or my sheets, and I can wake up the next morning, not have to take a shower, and just get dressed and go. So it's from one of my favorite trusted brands. It goes on beautifully. It doesn't streak. I do use it with a mitt, and I was so excited to see that they came out with this new product this year. Now for makeup. I'm going to try to go through all of these really quickly because this is a end of year favorites video. I hope to just go through these really quick and you just be able to infer she really, really loves this product because it made the year-end favorites. I actually have 4 new favorite foundations, and if you think that this is a lot, you should have seen how many I actually tried in 2018. First up is the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. This one is so good that I actually bought it in 2 colors, and I normally do not do that with a high-end foundation. But this one is great just for all skin types. It looks like real skin. It doesn't transfer. I fell really hard for this one. Now, I know that this one is old, but it's the first year that I've ever tried it. It's the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. I was totally blown away by this one. It has such a pretty finish on the skin. It also doesn't transfer, which is a big, big, big pet peeve of mine. The biggest drawback is that it doesn't have any type of pump or squeeze tube. It's just like this old-fashioned glass foundation bottle. But what's inside is so good, and for such a good price, I have overlooked that. Another Dior foundation I tried for the first time this year is the Air Flash Spray Foundation. Now, this is like the most expensive foundation I have in my collection. You can go through this pretty quickly, and it's way expensive, but I loved it this summer. It just gave my skin such a nice glow without being greasy or transferring. It's just one of the most skin-like foundations I've ever tried. It has decent coverage. I use it with a flat kabuki brush and kind of stipple it in. Oh, and I also do spray it directly on the brush, not on my face. I don't need all of that mess. But this one really blew me away as well. I have not repurchased this one yet because I still have some left. I've kind of just been rationing it towards the end because I don't want to buy it again so soon. So now I kind of save it for special occasions, but if you haven't tried this, I would highly recommend it. Now, this last one I have not had for very long at all, but since we're not doing a December favorites this year, it goes straight into the best of beauty for the year. I'm going to go ahead and mention it. It is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. The reason I feel confident to go ahead and mention this is because if you followed me for any time at all, you probably know that the L'Oreal Pro Matte is one of my favorite foundations of all time, especially mixed with the L'Oreal Pro Glow Foundation. This is exactly that in one bottle. The Pro Matte and the Pro Glow mix makes this Fresh Wear foundation. I feel like it's that product in one bottle, and it also comes with a new pump. I love the packaging, I love the formula, love the coverage. I'm a big L'Oreal foundation fan, and they hit it out of the park with this one as well. I tried a lot of concealers this year as well, and the one that came out on top was the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. Now, I saw that this made a lot of people's worst list this year, and a lot of people did not like it. I really just feel like it's one of those hate or love products, and I actually ended up loving it, and I will continue to purchase it probably all next year unless something better comes along. The biggest complaint I heard about this one is that it creased on a lot of people. However, my main goal this year was to find one that didn't crease almost immediately. Everything that I tried this year creased so fast until I tried this one, which did not crease on me. So it's really such a personal skin type of thing, but I am so glad and over the moon that this one did work for me because it's only $7 at Ulta. I just find it to be so incredibly smooth and creamy while setting well. It doesn't crease on me like it does a lot of people. It is not super full coverage, so I know that it does say full coverage conceal and define. I think it's more of a medium coverage, but it's the perfect amount of coverage for me because I want my makeup to look very natural. I don't want it to look heavy or cakey under the eyes. And I just don't think you can beat $7, so this is a highly loved favorite for me. I also tried a lot of loose powders this year, but the Laura Mercier Translucent Pressed Setting Powder came out on top. I really do prefer a pressed powder because it's a lot less messy, but this one came out on top because it truly is translucent on the skin and it doesn't look powdery. It just doesn't look heavy or cakey or powdery. You can just barely tell that you put it on, except that it kind of mattifies your skin, and that's the only way you can tell. I can't get over how beautiful it looks on the skin and just blurs everything while still looking like you didn't put on a ton of powder. There's a ton of great bronzers out there, but if you're the fairest of fair like me, this is finally the bronzer I've been looking for. It's the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in the shade Nude Bronze Light. Now, they have a ton of different shades, and I would highly recommend the formula to anybody. It's so beautiful and so smooth on the skin. Without being shimmery, it still gives a little bit of life to the skin. It is not a flat matte, so it still gives life to the skin without any shimmer whatsoever. This is the shade I've been trying to hunt down for years. It's finally not too warm for my cool, fair skin. It's not too dark, it's not too warm. This one is just cool enough that you're able to like sweep it along the cheekbones kind of haphazardly, and it still give a nice contoured effect, but a nice bronzer all over effect as well. So I always use it right here, right along the cheekbones to give a little bit of definition and also bring some warmth to the face so that I'm not completely washed out and white like I am. And it has become one of those products that I cannot do without. Now, typically, I just don't purchase very many eyeshadow palettes. It's not really my thing that I love to try and purchase, but I tried a lot more this year than usual, and the one that came out on top was the ColourPop Fame palette. Now, more so than just the Fame palette, the ColourPop eyeshadow formula was the best of 2018. It's the first time I've ever tried this formula, and you get so much bang for your buck. It's so smooth and creamy and pigmented and worth so much more than what they charge for it. They did not skimp on the quality simply because they charged a lower price point, and I've found that with every eyeshadow palette that I've used so far from them. But as a personal favorite for the year, the Fame palette was where it was at. I love cool tone shades. I love the purpley shades. I love the mix of glitter, shimmer, and mattes in here. To use whether on a daily basis or going out, this was my most reached for palette by far. This was also the year that I discovered my favorite eyelash brand in general, and that is the brand Allure. I love their false eyelashes. All of the boxes say uniquely curved for your perfect fit, and I think that is my favorite thing about them. They have the most perfect curve that makes them so much easier to put on and so much more comfortable on the eyes to me. They're also so incredibly lightweight. I just find them to be the most comfortable and really beautiful on the eye as well. Now, the eyelashes I prefer are more on the natural side than a lot of people like to wear, but I'm going to go ahead and show you my favorites. My favorite of all that started it was the Accent Lash in number 3. This is great for your very first set of false eyelashes if you have no idea what you're doing. These are just the perfect subtle little touch on the outside of the eye that are also very easy to apply. The number 5 Accent Lash is a lot heavier, but it's still really beautiful. The ones I actually have on today, that's why it's empty, is the number 33, and this is in their Naturals line. And then the most dramatic one, at least for me personally, because I do not go very dramatic, especially because I have small hooded eyes, is the number 117, and this is in their wispy line. These remind me a lot of the Demi Wispies, but they're a lot more comfortable, a lot more easy to apply, and for some reason they're just way more flattering on me than the Demi Wispies. I almost forgot to mention that these are incredibly affordable, especially because every single box comes with a little eyelash glue and an eyelash applicator. So if you don't want to, if you don't wear it very often, you wouldn't have to go out and buy a full-size tube of eyelash glue or a really nice eyelash applicator. You get both of those things in every single pair that you buy. Oh, I left out one eyeshadow because it looked like a lipstick down at the bottom of my basket, but this is the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick, and specifically the shade Au Naturel was a definite favorite this year. Makeup by Tiffany D recommended this, and it is the perfect all over the lid, easy shade. It's just so good to throw all over the lid, buff it out with your finger or with a brush, and go. But I loved how easy this was to throw on, and it really does give a lot of definition to the eyes as opposed to wearing nothing. So the Au Naturel shade was one of my most worn eyeshadows this year. I've also got 4 new lip products new to me in 2018. The first one was the Dose of Colors lip gloss. I had never tried their lip gloss formula, so upon trying that for the first time, it won me over immediately. I love the formula. It's not sticky or gloopy. It smells like vanilla cupcakes. But this shade also tops the list, and it's called Messy Bun. It's just the most gorgeous, cool toned mauve. It has a lot of purple in it, and then the shimmer in it is violet toned. And even though that sounds very out there, it is very subtle and so beautiful on lips, especially paired with this cool mauve tone color. So the Dose of Colors lip gloss in general was a favorite find this year, but the Messy Bun color was so pretty, especially if you love cool tone shades. I did a whole video on these, the Milani Amore Shine liquid lip color. I just don't have much like this in my collection, and it's so good from the drugstore. I think the most comparable would be the Bite liquid lipsticks because it's the only non-matte liquid lipstick I have in my collection. But now these top it because they last so much longer. They really do plump up my lips and get rid of all the lines and just make them look so juicy and full. The range of shades was also one of my favorites. This one is number 4 in Foxy. You do have to watch out though if you don't like cool tone shades. A lot of them are very cool tone, but they do have some warmer tones as well. I had said in my dedicated video to these, if you told me that this was a high-end brand and you slapped an $18 price tag on it, I would believe you and I would purchase it for that. And I do still stand by that claim. It's such a good value, and I love these. Dang, I can't remember the name of these. Okay, the L'Oreal Ultra Matte Lipstick is another favorite drugstore find this year. These are so similar to the new MAC Powder Kiss lipsticks, only better in my opinion, better color selection, and obviously a better price. I loved it so much, I bought several shades. This one is the shade 979 Bold Mauve. It is swatched right here, and it is what I have on my lips today. Favorite thing about this matte lipstick, I can still glide my lips together and it feels really good on the lips, but it has a completely matte finish. I've just never seen an ultra matte lipstick that can glide on so smoothly and you still be able to glide your lips together and it feels so nice and still have just an ultra matte look to it. This one also has a really nice range of colors, especially for the drugstore. I have several, but this really cool tone dark shade is one of my favorites. Can you tell I love cool tones? Once again though, they do have some warmer shades for everybody. And last for lip products, but certainly not least, this one is at the top of the class. My number 1 most used lip product this year is the Marc Jacobs Lip Gloss Stick, specifically in the shade One Mauve Time. I use this every single day since I purchased it. I kid you not, I use it all day, every day. It stays in my purse. I had to go dig it out of my purse for this video. Here it is right here on my hand. It's just the most beautiful, shiny, feels like a lip balm, hydrates your lips, perfect everyday color just to add a little bit of color to the lips but not overpower any type of makeup look that you're doing. Great for no makeup days, but just nothing compares with the formula to me combined with this specific color. So this one is my favorite. It's just an everyday go-to, and as soon as I run out of this, I know I'll be repurchasing. Now that is all for the makeup. It's time to go into hair care, and I discovered a new shampoo and conditioner this year that is the Alterna Caviar Anti-Aging Replenishing Moisture Shampoo and Conditioner. Dang, that's a long name, but this is a really good stuff. This is another product that started out as using a travel size. I used it and loved it. I went to the normal size shampoo and conditioner. As soon as I used that all up, I purchased these big bad boys from the Nordstrom anniversary sale. So this was a really good value, but it also shows you how much I loved it this year. I love the way this moisturizes without any extra weight or greasiness. It just makes it feel so silky and smooth. And because I have frizzy hair, I need the extra moisture. So this has been great. I also discovered IGK dry shampoos this year. I feel like I could bust out in a song over discovering the brand IGK this year. It's so good. The Direct Flat is my #1 favorite dry shampoo. This is the multitasking dry shampoo. It's the medium cleansing level. I also keep on hand the First Class Charcoal Detox Dry Shampoo, which is their deep cleanse level. In case I need it, in case it's like really dirty, I need some heavy duty stuff. I keep the little travel size on hand for that. So I've gone through so many cans of this year, and I don't plan on changing anytime soon on this as well. It is by far my favorite. The scents in the IGK line for everything they have is incredible. I am very, very sensitive to scents in any product, especially on dry shampoo, because it tends to linger in your hair. It's right here by your face. You can smell it all day typically. And IGK none of it has bothered me no matter what product I've tried. So they have really good scents. Also from IGK is the Beach Club Volumizing Texture Spray. I bought this as soon as I cut my hair a lot shorter. I've been enjoying it. It has replaced my Orbe Dry Texturizing Spray, which I also love, but it tended to like matte my hair up more and make it look more frizzy. This one is very volumizing. It gives that nice gritty texture that I love. Not gritty. Gritty's like a bad word, but it gives nice grip and texture to the hair without making it like poof up and look more frizzy. I have trouble with frizz as it is, so I don't need it to look more that way, but this really does give it nice volume and texture. Plus the scent, I can't say enough about as well. I think it's like a pineapple-y scent. It's so, so good. And last for hair care is the Slip Silk Scrunchies. I have really just fallen head over heels for these. As someone who sleeps with their hair up all the time, these have just been a game changer as far as not creasing my hair as much, not damaging my hair at all, just being so smooth and silky and non-damaging. It just makes me not feel so bad about keeping my hair up all the time because I know it's not breaking my hair. It's not causing more frizz. The silk really glides along the strand so it doesn't make your hair more frizzy when you sleep on it. And they also have really good hold. You would think with silk it would just slide right out of your hair during the night or as you wear it during the day. But whatever's inside really holds the hair very nicely. But I have very thick, hard to hold hair that I have to like loop it multiple times and have it very tight. I don't have any issues with these at all. They are by far my #1 new hair discovery this year. All right, we are almost done. We just have a few lifestyle favorites left. The first one is a candle from Bath & Body Works. I mean, normally I wouldn't include a Bath & Body Works candle. Y'all know that I love my Bath & Body Works candles, but this year they came out with a scent called Copper Coconut that has hit my #1 favorite scent from Bath & Body Works of all times. Okay, other than one other scent that's been discontinued for years and years and years, that one was called Pineapple Orchid, and it's my all-time favorite scent from there, but I am just waiting on the year that they decide to bring it back. I will be jumping for joy when that happens. But this one, Copper Coconut, is my other all-time favorite. I just feel like I could burn this scent year-round. It doesn't matter what season or what the weather is. I could burn this. It has such a good throw. I can actually set this on my dresser, not even burn it, and smell it every time I walk by. I could smell it the whole time it was just sitting here beside me waiting to be talked about. Oh my gosh, it is so warm and intoxicating, and just, it doesn't have a summery coconut scent. It just has the warmest, velvety, creamy coconut scent you can imagine. Hands down, #1 favorite of all time, so it had to get mentioned this year. My next lifestyle favorite is actually one of those products when you use it, you think, how did I do without this before I knew about it? It really is just that imperative to my beauty routine that I think, what did I do before I knew about these? It is the Tinkle Eyebrow Razor. I actually heard about these from Alex Garza here on YouTube. So they are marketed as an eyebrow razor, but I do use them in between my eyebrows just to get those little peach fuzzies that you can only see in the sunlight. But I mainly use it for my upper lip, which I find gets the closest shave if you're going to shave there instead of wax. So I love it for that. It's really sharp enough to really get close. and then I also use it for my bikini line. I've always found that using a regular razor, it's very hard to get around all the curves and really fit in your bikini line easily. This is small enough and a single blade razor that can get anywhere you need it to go, and also it's a very, very sharp blade, so it gets a really close shave there as well. I just don't know how I've done without these. They're very inexpensive and I can get them on Amazon Prime. And very last but not least is Color Street nail strips. These are 100% real nail polish strips that go on dry, and I love them. I bought them from a friend, and the very first time I tried them, I loved them so much that I ended up signing up to become a Color Street stylist. So it's basically a multi-level marketing company, which is totally not my thing, but I really do love this product so much. They have so much selection. They have the most beautiful glitters, designs and glitters, solids. I mean, you can get whatever you want, and then they come out with new styles for every season. There's just so much to choose from. If I had to pick my number one favorite thing about these, it would be that there is no dry time. I can do my nails and then I can go take care of my kids. If I get called away to change a dirty diaper in the middle, it's not gonna mess them up. No dry time is my favorite. That was always my favorite about like dip nails and acrylics as well, but these don't damage your nails and they don't cost $50 a pop. So much more affordable, and instead of just talking your ear off about something that I actually sell, which I don't want to do because I know I sell them and make a commission off of them. You expect me to talk about them, but they really are a favorite from this year. So instead, I'm just going to apply one real quick so you can see what all the fuss is about. This is our little sample pack. It comes with 2, and if you want to try a free sample, I will mail you one. Just send me a direct message in Instagram and I will mail one out to you, no problem. So you just take off the tabs, and it's just a small little thin layer of nail polish. It is sticky on the back, but it is dry on the top. I'm going to see if I can turn around and do this for you. You just apply it to your nail, and if you don't get it right the first time, you can just pick it right back up. It's not a sticker, so it's not going to like lose its stickiness if, say, you have to like peel it up and reposition it. If ever you see me with my nails done since November, it is Color Street. This solid color is called Upper East Side, and then this is Tokyo Lights for the glitter accent. But you just press it down, and then you perforate the end with your thumbnail or maybe with a nail file. But look, I'm just pushing down at the end of my nail to perforate it. There's no heat required, nothing, and that is it. It is done. You can also take off the tab at the other end and use this end for another nail that it would fit. So you get a lot of use out of these little strips. Honestly, a lot of people can get a manicure and a pedicure out of one little set. It comes with 8 different sizes to choose from for one hand, and on a lot of these, each end is a different shape. So one end may be more squared off and the other more rounded, so you can find exactly what fits your nails. And it's just so easy to get a manicure. I mean, I just added 1 extra accent nail on this hand, and you're good to go. So if you can't tell, it's a product I'm very passionate about, and whether or not I was selling it or not, I would definitely still be using it because I am totally addicted to these. So we finally made it to the end. That is all of my favorites from the year of 2018. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it was helpful to see everything that I tried new in the year of 2018 and see the products that really shot to the top of the list. For all of you that have stuck with me here in the year of 2018, thank you so much. I love you all. Thank you for interacting and hanging out with me and watching. I really appreciate it so much. I wish you all a wonderful 2019, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.